welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. I mean, we could do that thing where I say apologies for no video last week, I was busy, but I feel like you folk already know that that's the score. And if there's a video over here, great. If there isn't, then that's fine too. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. Obviously you can tell by the title and by the fact that I am sitting down, not actually outside. But today's video is going to be my top 5 tips for growing your social media following over on Instagram in the kind of agri farming social media world. I started on Instagram probably about 8 years ago. Whenever I started, it was definitely not a thing. I think there was maybe only a handful of folk over there doing kind of what I'm doing now. And obviously over kind of the last 2 years, it has really exploded in popularity, which is great to see. I love to see other people promoting agriculture and showcasing what they get up to and really being excited about farming. So over on Instagram I have 33.1 thousand followers, and then obviously on YouTube we're nearly at 12,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Obviously this video is just going to be all about Instagram and kind of how I interact over there, but if you would like a YouTube version of this video, then give this video a big thumbs up and tell me down below what you'd like to know about how to go about growing a YouTube channel. Obviously this channel is a baby, it is minute compared to some of the big channels out there, but look, it has grown in popularity fairly quickly and I'm really happy with how it has progressed. So without further ado, we'll start and we'll go for tip number 1. So my first tip for Instagram success is make your feed look good. And when I talk about feed, I mean your profile. What does your bio say? What is your profile picture? How do all your photos look when they come together? When somebody clicks on your profile and is deciding whether or not to follow your account, they are going to be looking at your feed. That is basically your shop window to try and encourage people, hey look, over here, I'm doing a really good thing. You can see it here. Why don't you follow me? There's nothing more I hate than clicking onto somebody's profile and just seeing selfies. I mean, I love a good selfie, but it's not really something that I'm interested in seeing. I quite like to see variable content. If you go and click on my Instagram profile, I'll put it up here now, you can see tractors, you can see sheep, you can see cows, you can see bits and pieces of me, you can see landscape. There's a whole ream of different things. Variable, it's interesting, it's different. You know you're definitely not going to see the same thing day in, day out on my feed. Another big tip would be develop a style, develop a theme and use the same theme throughout your profile. As you can see from my profile, I have a horizontal picture and then a vertical picture, a horizontal picture, then a vertical picture. I think it fits in really nice, it's aesthetically pleasing and it's different, something different. And whenever I started doing that, there was nobody else doing that either. And it looks good, it looks nice, and I feel like if somebody clicks onto my page, they can be like, okay, well, this girl actually puts a little bit of thought, a little bit of effort into her photographs, I might follow her. The other thing I would say with your feed is take inspiration, definitely look at what other people are doing, but do not copy. There is nothing worse than clicking through Instagram and seeing somebody that has the same bio as you, same style profile picture as you, and the same theme as you, just saying it would be nice to not be copied. And if you are copying, give credit. If you're using an idea of somebody else's, give credit, then it's absolutely fine. But yeah, take inspiration, but don't copy. Tip number 2 is post content that you find interesting. Post content that you would engage with or that you would like to see somebody else post. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you are into agriculture, you're into farming, and so your followers are probably into agriculture, into farming, into the same kind of things that you are, which means if you post content that you enjoy seeing, chances are your followers are going to enjoy seeing it too. On the same vein as that, if you're posting Instagram stories, be conscious of what you flick through whenever you're watching Instagram stories. So what stories do you not look at? If you click on and see somebody has posted 50 stories in one day, do you really sit and watch 50 stories? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Generally, if I'm doing Instagram stories, if I'm doing a talking story, I really don't talk for more than 4 slides because, to be totally honest, if I'm watching Instagram, I definitely don't listen to anything more than 4 slides. So use Instagram and post content that you would enjoy seeing. Also, Instagram becomes a diary. It becomes something that you can look back on. I'll leave a link down below and you can go and watch all of my Instagram highlights. Not gonna lie, I think I watch them more than anybody else. Because I have posted things that I like and I enjoy, I love going back and seeing all that stuff all over again. My third tip for Agri Instagram success is be a regular content producer. A while back, Instagram shook up their algorithm. We used to be able to see content in chronological order, which meant that you seen photos on your feed in time order. You seen your latest photo first. Now, they're jumbled up all over the place. Sometimes you scroll through, the first picture you can click on could be from 2 days ago. It could be from 2 hours ago. You just never know. But it is 100% proven that Instagram pushes regular content producers. I guarantee now, if you click onto Instagram and you regularly watch my stories, you will probably find my stories within the first maybe 10-ish stories along the top of your story feed. Equally, if you follow Instagram and you engage or like with any of my feed posts, they will probably be higher up on your page. You'll not have to scroll for as long to find them. That's because Instagram likes people who produce content regularly. Not saying you have to post something every day. Obviously, if you followed, you know that I post things Monday to Saturday, and then obviously you sometimes get a YouTube video on a Sunday, not always, but that really helps. And it also helps to build your following. People expect you to be producing content. They expect to click onto Instagram and see that you have something up, and they look forward to seeing something that you have up. Equally, if I don't post something for a day, I actually get messages now of people saying, are you okay? Is everything okay? You haven't posted anything today, it's a little bit different. Because Instagram and people expect to see your content. More regular posting, Instagram pushing your posts through the algorithm leads to more engagement, and engagement leads to followers. Tip number 4 for Agri social media success. If this is getting really annoying, it's also getting really annoying for me too, and I'm really annoyed with myself that I started doing it. Anyway, tip number 4 is make use of all the features that Instagram offers. There's nothing worse than clicking through stories and it's literally just a picture. It's just a picture. I'm like, well, okay, that's a picture of a cow. What do you want me to do with that? Instead of just a picture of a cow, why don't you take your picture of your cow? Why don't you add a timestamp? Is it 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning? Is it 6 o'clock in the evening? Let me know, give me a bit more information. Let me know when that photo was taken. Equally, why don't you stick a wee GIF crown on that cow? It's a little bit something different. People will remember it and might make a wee laugh. Instead of that, why don't you do a caption? Tell me who the cow is. Is she cow 236? Is she a dry cow? Is she a milking cow? Is she your favourite cow? Is she a pet cow? It all makes for more interesting, engaging content. Use music. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this video, I will have announced over on Instagram. I'm in the middle of creating a massive Spotify playlist, and it's of every single song I have used in my Instagram stories for the past year. My 2020 Insta stories tunes. So yeah, use music, and use music that matches the scene. If it's raining, use sad music. If it's really happy, use happy music. So yeah, match your music to your content, and people listen to it. People watch your stories because they're like, that girl, she posts quite cool music on her Instagram stories. I'll go and watch and see what she's listening to these days. Also, use call to actions. Call to actions are all those little things that you can add onto your Instagram stories that make people engage with your content. So an Instagram poll could be something like, heading off to cut third cut grass. Have you cut your third cut grass? Yes or no? Simple. Question boxes. You can ask questions in the boxes, or you can ask for people's opinions on things. You can ask people for recommendations, and all of that gets your audience engaged. It gets them engaged in your content. Even better if you can post the results of that later on. If you can post a screenshot of answers that people have sent to you, then it creates a much more immersive experience on your Instagram page. So tip number 5 is use your insights. If you scroll through your Instagram, I'm sure you can figure it out yourself, but basically there's a little bit on your Instagram that will tell you all about the insights of your audience. So it will tell you what age your audience is, what your male-female split is in your audience, and when are your audience mostly online. Are they online in the morning time, evening time, lunchtime? Again, a lot of that can probably come down to you and what your personal demographics is. Obviously, I'm a 23-year-old female who generally scrolls through other people's Instagrams in the morning time and the evening time. So when I'm posting feed posts, they're generally first thing in the morning or last thing in the evening. If you think about it, most people are on Instagram first thing in the morning and last thing at night. So if you're going to post Instagram feed content, maybe think about posting at that time. Also, it means you can tailor your content. So is the majority if you're following in the UK? Is the majority if you're following in Ireland? And wee bits and pieces like that can make a difference, because one of the examples I came across on my Instagram was whenever I was talking about grass measuring, people were getting really confused because although I'm in Northern Ireland, I use at least what I think is the UK system for grass measuring. I talk about 3,000 kilos and baling at 4,000 kilos, whereas in the Southern Ireland, south of Ireland, everybody gets confused because the south of Ireland, they talk about available cover, whereas the UK talks about total cover. So going on demographics wise, if the larger percentage of your audience is from, say, Southern Ireland, then perhaps maybe you could think about adjusting your language to suit your audience. And then I suppose one tiny little bonus point, and I touched on it already in the video, but be individual. There is so many people on Instagram, and there's so many people doing a fantastic job on Instagram, but please don't rip off anybody else's style. You know, obviously there's only 6 or 7 different fonts on Instagram. You can't really claim a font to be yours. But like the things that you say and your captions, you know, be original, because nobody likes to read the same thing twice, especially when they know it's come from somebody else. Okay, so for this part of the video, I actually went on to Instagram and I asked people for some questions for this video. Following my own advice, I did an Instagram story where I spoke for 3 story posts. I used captions, which meant that everybody could understand what I was saying on my stories. People who watch stories on silent, people who perhaps are deaf, they can't actually hear what you're saying. And then obviously I used a call to action as well. I asked a question and I left a question box. So these are the questions I have been asked from Instagram. Okay, the first one here is, do you have to have a public account or can you grow from being a private one? I would say the answer to this question is you have to be public. Like I was saying in my very first tip, people like to see what they are going to get whenever they follow. So if I click onto somebody's profile and it's a private profile, they might have a bit of a bio to say that they're farming and things like that, but generally I won't hit follow unless I can see the kind of photos that they have turning out, and obviously you need to be public for me to be able to see those photos before I follow you. So I would say, personally, I feel you do need to be public to be able to grow your following. Okay, so somebody says, I'd love to start something but hate talking on camera. Trust me, so does everybody who talks on camera. I think one of my biggest tips for this one would be you have to just pretend that you're sending a voice note to one of your pals and that nobody else will ever hear you. I promise you, every time I sit down to try and film a YouTube video or I go to do a speaking story on Instagram, I get nervous. Everybody gets nervous. But obviously with practice and if you continue to do it and just keep doing it and post them, practice and make perfect, and you will get more confident. I promise you will get more confident. Okay, the next one is, how did you promote your account? So obviously I said that I have been on Instagram for like 8 years now. So my Instagram has grown really organically, and I think that that has really helped because it means that my followers pretty much know what they're getting. They know that I'm not out for bullshit, I'm not here for money, that you can, you know, what you see is what you get with me, because when I started there was no pressure to, you know, there was no pressure for money, there was no pressure for brand deals, there was no pressure to work with different businesses. So I think personally one of my biggest qualities and how I've managed to promote my account is people know that they can come here and just generally see, they see farming, and I'm not pretending to be anything that I'm not. I talk about the struggles of farming, so it's really real life, I suppose. Sorry, my phone just rang. I have no idea where I ended that question. But yeah, you don't have to push anything either. Obviously all these tips will help, but equally just let it happen, because when you just let it happen, then people will know you're just generally there to have a good time and that you are enjoying it too. Okay, so how do you stay motivated to post every day? How many stories do you post, / frequency of stories? I think one of the biggest things for staying motivated is you really do have to enjoy it. And the only way you can enjoy doing it is, like I said, posting things that you enjoy seeing, because as I said, it becomes a diary, it becomes something that you enjoy looking at. So I think why I love Instagram so much is because I know that if I'm documenting things every day, then in 10 years time when I'm maybe not doing the same thing or I'm doing something completely different, I can look back and see pretty much every single day for about 3 years what I was doing. So I suppose that's one of my biggest motivators Frequency wise, story wise, as I said, I post from Monday to Saturday. I don't post on Sunday, just kind of gives me a bit of a time off. If you know me, I'm pretty much milking every Sunday morning and every other Sunday evening. Anyway, so it's not that I'm not farming, I'm just not posting about it. And then I would say story wise, I probably don't post anything more than 15 stories a day. I'd say anything between sort of 6 to 12 stories a day would be optimal. Again, if I click onto somebody's profile and they have like 50 stories posted, I'll just swipe because I haven't got time to watch all them. Okay, the next question is, what do you do when a brand wants to work with you? How do you set up a deal? Okay, so despite being on Instagram for 8-ish years and now YouTube, this is obviously something that's very new to me too, I'm not gonna lie about it. And somebody who I brought on this year, kind of in the last couple of months even, was a lovely girl called Amy. I'll leave her Instagram down below. She actually has 2 different Instagrams. She has a farming Instagram and then her business, which is Pastures Green Communications. And basically Amy helps me to sort out any deals. So a brand comes to you and says, hey Anna, we want to work with you, we want to do X, Y, and Z. And then I kind of fire that over to Amy, and Amy obviously has fantastic expertise in that area. And she sorts that all out for me. Previously I was doing it all myself. And to be honest, brands will take advantage of somebody on Instagram who perhaps doesn't know how much they're worth and what they really should be paying. So once that kind of deal side is all sorted out and maybe you've got the product or you've got kind of the brand deal as such, then it obviously comes to advertising online. The biggest tip I can give you with advertising online is disclose, 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 over disclose. Tell everybody, tell all your followers exactly. You don't have to tell them how much you're getting paid, but tell them exactly what you're getting paid for. Tell them if something is just being a gift, if you've been paid to talk about something, or you're just generally getting it. Obviously on Instagram, you don't have to be paid to talk about anything. You know, over there, I speak about things that I love all the time and I don't get paid for any of it because I'm just generally interested in sharing like things that I have found on the farm that might be useful to somebody else, and I don't need to get money for speaking about it. But one of my biggest pet peeves on Instagram is knowing the background of other people's deals and seeing that they haven't disclosed it at all, and I would love to shout about it, but it's nothing to do with me. That's between other people and the brands that they work with, so not my business. But yeah, okay, this is a good question to finish on. It says, who are your favorite people to follow on Instagram? They don't have to have a big following. So obviously I'm a massive exporter. I'm a massive supporter of women in agriculture and women who are showcasing the industry. Obviously, I've said it before, I don't think men and women are any different. I don't think women can do a better job. I don't think men can do a better job. But all in all, it's something that I'm really supportive of. And I think that if by talking about women in agriculture, using my social media channels, I can encourage other women into an industry which is traditionally geared for men, but is definitely moving more towards women. And then that's a great thing. So, Red Shepherdess, Hannah Jackson, amazing. Such a fantastic ambassador for our industry, and honestly, I just wish she was living in Northern Ireland so we could meet up and go for tea and stuff all the time. Another one is Country Girl in Labradors. Tanya is unreal. She drives a combine every harvest time. It makes me want to be a combine driver. I have absolutely no interest in arable whatsoever. But whenever she's in the combine, I'm like, yeah, that is absolutely what I want to do. Another one is Joanne Devney. She has a YouTube channel as well. I'll leave it down below. She is an unbelievable female sheep shearer. Don't know how she does it because, as I said before, I can never figure it out. So yeah, I'll leave their links all down below and you can go follow them. But that is the end of this video. I think that my memory card is flashing at me and it wants me to shut up. If, as I said at the start of this video, you would like a YouTube version of this, or maybe you would like some more Instagram tips, then please do leave me a comment down below, let me know, and I can do something similar. So that's me. Next week I promise we'll be back to normal. We'll be farming, we'll be wearing welly bits and just generally out chatting about what we're doing on the farm. But I thought this is something a little bit different that maybe, or maybe not, you might enjoy. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and I will catch you in my next one.